It's been a while. As you can see, I'm in a new location. Jiggs Lounge has moved. I've upgraded from the shed to the garage. So, enough. Yes, welcome back. I thought I'd make a few changes to the channel as new location, new starts and all that kind of thing. So before, I'd smoke the cigar from start to finish, give you my opinion as it went along, but the trouble is it just takes fucking forever to edit a video that long, and the fact that I've got to go back and go, did I talk there, did I not talk there, and just like skip bits, cut bits, back and forth, stop start, it just took far too long to do the editing on that. I just didn't have time for all that, especially with the other channel and podcast, whatever, all that sort of stuff, and just life in general. I haven't got time to do that much stuff. So from this point going forward, I am gonna, whatever cigar I'm gonna review, I will buy a couple of them for sure and smoke it in my own time, get my notes down, and then when I come in here to do this video, I can just smoke it again and just go over what I'd already got in my book already, and it just makes things easier. You haven't got to see me sit and do the whole cigar, and I can sort of be in and out of it a lot quicker and just enjoy it a bit more. Let it be less of a burden to do all that editing. So saying that, what are we drinking and what are we smoking today? So I have gone for this little cigar here. Very popular at the moment. It's a Plasencia. Everywhere I look, people are smoking Plasencias at the moment, so I thought it is a good time to jump on the Plasencia bandwagon and give one of their cigars a go, one which is considered more their premium cigars, and see if it's as good as everyone's making out. So the one we're going for is the Plasencia Alma Fuerte. I'm sure that pronunciation is quite good. Fuck knows, who knows? You never know, and when it's in another language it's never easy. But yeah, so that's what we're going for today. I wrote a few little notes near it. If you've watched any of my channel before, you'll know that I haven't got the best memory in the world, so it's easy to write things down, and I've done so in here. So this Plasencia Alma Fuerte, it's a soft box press, 5.25 by 52. These retail around about the £23 mark. Unfortunately, in this country, you could probably pick these up for like probably $15 in America, but we just get that shipping charge just absolutely thrown on top of our cigars over here, which is such a sad thing, really. So yeah, it's fully Nicaraguan Puro blend. Yeah, the wrapper's Nicaraguan, binder's Nicaraguan, and the filler is Nicaraguan. It's full strength apparently, but like all things, that depends on how you get along with stuff. I've smoked ones that have been told they're full strength and haven't really felt that way. But yeah, so when I did smoke this, I thought I'd write down a few little things that I thought it might go well with. When I smoked it originally, I smoked it with a cold coffee. It was actually one of them pre-made Starbucks ones. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm drinking Starbucks, I know you're probably gonna hate me for that. But it was like a sweet cappuccino, cold. And every time I had a little bit of drink with it, it just brought out more of the sweeter notes in the cigar, and like the nutty taste in it, the chocolatey taste, they all sort of like amped up a little bit. So I thought, alcohol wise, because I've obviously got to come in and drink an alcoholic drink, haven't I, that what I thought would be a good pairing with this is what I've gone for. Luckily I had one. I've got a little 3-pack of I think it's a double word, a 17-year-old, and this, and that is the Balvenie Caribbean Cask 14-year-old. So I have had this before and it was delicious, I loved it. And because of that Caribbean cask, it's got that hint of sweetness in there. So I thought if I have something that's got a bit of a sweet taste to it, that is going to enhance this cigar again, hopefully. So I'm praying on a good result with that. So I've got my little sampler there, put it in there, let it air a little bit to get some of that alcohol out of the way and hopefully get to the good flavours. But yeah, let's unwrap this. So it's a good looking cigar. You know, I love a soft box press anyway. It's just something about the way you hold them. I don't know. I've said before, I love a box press. The artwork on it is lovely as well. Lovely gold, white and black. It's got the 3 bands. It's got the little foot band with the Alma Fuerte in it, gold, black writing, and then the actual Plasencia band itself is really nice. And then the little one above it with all the P's on it. So yeah, it's very pretty, very nice cigar to look at. and I will tell you, it is a very nice cigar to smoke. I really enjoyed it when I smoked it the other day, but it's not really a spoiler because I'll go through the notes as I'm going through it now as well, see what I got off it last time and all that. So I did a V-cut last time. I'm going to continue to do another V-cut this time as well because it's my favourite anyway, and the pull on this was quite a sort of medium to snug kind of pull, so the V-cut alternated perfectly. If it was anything lighter than that, I probably would have opted for a punch or something, but it worked well last time, so I'm going to have to go for the good old V-cut again. I like to soften up the end a little bit because just stops the extra chance of you getting a bit of a crack in there when you punch through, just especially if you're not got a very sharp cutter. I mean, my cutter's pretty good, it's fairly new, so it shouldn't have too many issues, but I do like to just to be safe. Yeah, the pull feels the same, so I think it should be absolutely fine. So yeah, on the dry smell of it, on the outside on the wrapper, it's got like a mossy hay smell, that sort of fusty smell that you tend to get from a darker wrapper. But when you go onto the tobacco and the filler, it's a lot sweeter. You're getting them chocolate notes in there, which are really nice. I think I put that in last time as well, to be honest, when I did. I don't think it's smelling much different, to be honest. So yeah, dry nose, I've got a bit of chocolate and a bit of cereal, and then a sort of sweet chocolate filler. So yeah, getting the same feel so far, so that's good. Try her up. Guarantee this won't work. I filled it up. I guarantee it won't work. It never does. Oh, motherfucker. Today is my lucky day. It's feeling good in the new home. Oh no, he spoke too fucking soon. Yeah, see, look, I just don't know what it is with this lighter. I reckon I might have a faulty one, to be honest. We made it. We are there. Straight away, really earthy. The old booky leather kind of notes. It's a bit like an old barn sort of thing. Like I said before, I work in farms, so I know the smell of an old barn when I smell one, and it has got that barn kind of smell to it for sure. See, it's got some leather, a bit of nuts when you first start. Who doesn't like a bit of nuts when you first start, eh? And a bit of, it's definitely peppery. It's got that pepperiness to it. Nothing crazy. It doesn't punch you in the throat with pepper, but it's definitely got a nice peppery note to it. And just hold it in that box press. I fucking love a box press. So, like I said, gone for a Balvenie. It's been a long time since I had this. The first time I've actually had it was a sample. I've not actually had my own full bottle of it. So I sort of had to think, like, shit, I've actually got one of these. And I did remember I had this little miniatures free pack. So I will drink this dram that I poured myself here with this cigar, and then I'll probably take that bottle in and finish it off inside later, and write down the notes of that properly. Because I don't actually think I've got it in the book. To be fair, I actually might have, to be fair. I always forget what I've actually put in here. And I went for quite a long stage where I didn't write things in, because it's like, you got a whole bottle, you got plenty of time to do it. And I know it's the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve is what I had. That's what I was thinking of, Caribbean, that I've actually wrote in here. So yeah, it was that one that I wrote in here, not the Balvenie. So yeah, I better get that in there and keep filling her up. I mean, what about you guys? I mean, since I've got into cigar and whiskey drinking quite seriously, I started putting things down and stuff. So I've had this little book. My mate Mark Zara got my logo put on the front there, bless him. But yeah, I like to, if you can see that, I like to write the info in. I stick the bands on so you can, so I can remember which one it was. So you have to let me know in the comments how you feel about the new setup. It's a garage, I know it's a garage. I haven't got a smoking room in my house, I'm not making money. But yeah, I'm preferring it. It's a lot more there's a bit more room. I can actually get out and go around the table, where before I was literally wedged into a corner. So, and it's a bit quiet around here. We're quite close to a main road in the last place. There's literally vroom, vroom, car after car after car, which is a bit annoying. So it's nice to have a little bit more peace when I'm in here, to be fair. Well, let's get onto this then. It's quite a light nose to it. It's not got, it doesn't really punch you in the nose at all. There's not any harsh sort of burn. It's definitely got like a sweet note to it. Quite floral. I mean, what's the percentage of this? So this is, got bloody hickory doodles in my eye from the camera. Last time I filmed in here, there wasn't the light didn't come up. The light was fine, but today it's saying it's a bit too light. So I've got the fucking camera light blurring my eyes out. So every time I look at something, I'm like cross-eyed and got them fucking dots going everywhere. Shit. 43%. Literally, it's just where I want to look is dots. And because this is a small bottle, the writing's fucking tiny on it. But yeah, so 43%. So yeah, I'm not expecting it to hit me hard, but got some nice vanilla notes in there. It almost smells a bit like a kind of beard balm I'd buy. I normally buy like sort of sandal and cedarwood with like either tobacco or vanilla or them kind of smells in there. And this has got a very similar smell to a kind of beard oil I would use. But it's definitely floral-y. Lovely bit of vanilla in there. Yeah, I remember how good that is. Definitely get the rum in there. I'm a big rum fan. You definitely get like a sweet rum in there. So when I smoked this last time, it took me about, well, in all fairness, it took me about 2 hours. I was in between doing other stuff, so it did go out a couple of times and I left it and I had to relight it and that. But I mean, if in all fairness, you could probably hour 15, hour and a half to smoke this, I reckon. And but I did find if I left it a little bit too long, a couple of minutes or so, it's definitely going to go out. I mean, I've just touched this up myself now, and because literally from talking about that whiskey, and it sort of went out again. So it's not one of them cigars that you can leave down for quite a while. You do have to keep puffing it like at least once every minute, and just keep it going basically. So get that sort of grassy field, hay barn, sort of real savoury nut kind of taste. So I'm going to see if this does the same as what that coffee did. Have a little bit of this and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and see if it does change it a little bit. Not so much to the same extent as the coffee did. Obviously you're talking about a whole different drink there, but it definitely does bring out a bit of a sweeter note to it. So it goes from sort of like a hazelnut or a macadamia to a bit more of a like an almond level, you know, something that's got a little bit more sweetness to it. Which if you're into that, it's, you know, it works really well, which is why I chose the Caribbean Cask. And it's nice to be right every now and then. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen. But to be fair, I could drink it with anything, like I said before, and I will love it. But you know, that's the good thing about doing it once already, that I get to try it and see if that does have any effect on what I can choose to pair with it and make a better pairing option, obviously. The first time round, I put in there that I got a bit of cream, a bit of nutmeg, and when I did on the retro, there was more choc and more cream. It sort of came through a little bit stronger, which is normally the case anyway. I mean, whatever you have taste-wise, whenever you retrohale it, it always amps it up a little bit, and you always get more out of your nose than what you do out of your mouth. So it goes without saying, really. But that really, yeah, the cream and the choc definitely came out a lot more on the retro. And also found, just as I got to the end of the first third, got a real burst of leather. The leatheriness on it really came out and got like upped up a little bit. So if you're new to this channel, or you have watched any of my videos before, you know, this channel is mostly for these episodes I do now, which are just name episodes and whatever's in there. So say a cigar with a drink of choice, like the pairing combination, all that. But also do videos like I made my own infinity bottle with selection of islas I've got, or I did one that I was trying to get my missus into whiskey, so we did a little bit of a sampling session of that sort of thing. So them things I'll predominantly keep on this channel. On the Jiggs reviews is literally what it says on the tin, Jiggs reviews. So I will have a lot of alcohol videos over on there, but they're literally just to sit down and review that one drink on its own. So that's not something I'll be doing on here. So if you are watching this and you only watch this, or you've just stumbled across this and you are into alcohol reviews, head over to the other channel. I've recently just done 2 of the Ardbeg committee version drinks, so I mean they're quite rare and hard to come by, so they're good little videos to watch, because if you something that you might not be able to get your hands on. So if you're into like to seeing what things are and hearing about things that you might not be able to try, then it's worth a watch. So yeah, that's Jiggs reviews. Just head over there. Love a good plug me. That sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? Never mind. I mean, look at that smoke. Smoke output on this is incredible. And I also found the construction and the ash on it was really good as well. Lovely white coloured ash. Burnt pretty well. I think I did one touch up quite early on when I first started smoking the last one. This one's burning pretty well now at the moment. But yeah, that one just needed like a little bit of a touch up at the beginning. And I think when I got further to the bottom, there's just a little bit of a touch up really then. But that might have been the fact that because I was on and off smoking it and relighting it, I might not have got it all round properly as I relit it again. So I don't think that was the fault of the construction of the cigar at all. I just think that might have been a case of me stopping and starting quite a lot. So all in all, it has been a good smoke. The rum influence in this is really heavy, I find. I mean, I've had a few, what was it? I think it is, oh, damn it, I hate when I can't remember things. What I might have to do is I might have to tag it below sort of here now, but it's white something rum. Oh God, I'm so bad with names sometimes. But this has got a very, very similar flavour, I think. It's got the, that's just an all-out rum. It's a clear white distilled rum, but it's very much in the vein of how this tastes, I think. So you, like I said, you really are getting the rum influence in this big time. It's nice and sweet. Like I said, it's floral, and it is bringing out the sweeter notes in this, which what I hoped, and it's definitely doing that. It's a very nice crisp flavour. It's got some nice sort of apple notes, even some apricot in there. There's definitely some apricot. I'll probably say there's more apricot than apple, to be honest, even though apple hit me first. On the finish, there's definitely a lot more apricot in there. I'm a big fan of apricots, so having that flavour in there. Smokes so well. Really smokes well. So what did I get on the second third of this? So as I was smoking the second third last time, the pepper stepped up a little bit. The nuts, I love saying nuts, these nuts. The nuts got a bit sweeter on their own, despite having a bit of coffee drink with it. They were more prevalent as it went on. Started to get a bit of a hint of espresso in there. Bit of espresso. There was definitely a coffee note in there. I mean, I think that normally goes with a lot of these darker cigars. You know, you do get them leathery and coffee notes in there. And then once I did have another bit of a drink, I started getting more sort of sweeter cereal notes, like a bit like a malt really. If you had like a sort of like a malted milkshake, like a chocolate one. Kind of think of it. Horlicks obviously is malt. I don't know if anyone's had Horlicks, but if you have sort of like the chocolate version of that, it definitely had feels of that, 100%. So even though I went with the Balvenie Caribbean Cask, my other choice that I put down that I thought it would pair quite well with was a sherry cask of any sort, a milky sweet coffee. I had it with a milky sweet coffee and I thought that worked brilliantly. So that, a bourbon, I put bourbon down because bourbon have got very sort of sweet notes in them. You get the caramel, you get the butterscotch, you know, you get all them sort of flavours in a lot of bourbon, so I thought that would be a good pairing. I put rum as well, which obviously I'm getting a bit of both here because it's whiskey in a rum cask, so it's doing the same thing, so that's pretty much why I went for that. Yeah, and then I wrote in brackets Balvenie Caribbean Cask, so it was already written in the stars, and definitely smoke a little bit on its own first, then have a little mouthful of that, and just see how it opens up for you, because if it's anything like it has done for me, it's just fucking wonderful. Really did open it up. The other night I came in here, it's the first time I've ever been in here, and had a cigar and chilled out of a drink, and I was on a friend of mine that I've made through the world of podcasting, so shout out to Brian Stessel. So he has his own podcast called the Hearthcast, and predominantly he has guests on, and they just kick the shit while smoking a cigar and having a drink, and that is what it's about. It's called the Hearthcast for a reason. And I sat down with him the other night. We probably could have gone on a bit longer. I think we did probably about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, but we had serious internet issues by then. The first hour flew by fine and everything was good, but then the internet decided to just fucking eat a dick, so we ended up having to cut it short. Hopefully he can edit it well enough to make it sound fucking listenable, but if you haven't heard of him, or if you haven't, go and check out his podcast. He has some good guests on there. You know, he knows his stuff about cigars. He knows a lot more than I do about cigars. I mean, we sat there and he's looking at me on Zoom, and he looked at my cigar and he's like, "Oh, has that got that?" And because I had one of the sort of like barber pole style ones, but it was in a more of a army fatigue. It was the PG. Which one did I have? I had the Commando. And he's like, "I got that wrapper, that wrapper, that wrapper." You know, he knows a lot more about cigars than I do. He's well into the game. So yeah, go and check him out. Go and have a listen. And also, I mean, he did have an episode with Nick Padermo on there, so you know, he's not playing with the small fries like myself. You know, he's talking to some good people. He's obviously got some beard idiot twats that he talks to a couple of times. Like, you don't want to listen to them. But yeah, no, definitely worth a listen. So go and check him out. So I'm not sure when our episode's going to be out, or if it is going to be out. He might have scrapped it due to the pure shitness of the internet connection, but it was like listening to Planet Rock or the bloody it was awful. So that's more like a transformer, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, listen to the Hearthcast. That's what I'm saying. That is a hell of a good whiskey. I think the Balvenie retails at between £50 and £60 over here, so if you get yourself it's probably a 700 CL bottle. I can't imagine it's a litre, or 70 CL. I always get my fucking numbers mixed up. What have I got here? What level of 750 ml? So yeah, it's about 700 or 750 ml, aren't they? I was getting my mils and CLs, and there's too many measurements in the world. I wish the whole fucking world would just work off one measurement. It'd be so much easier. But yeah, I don't know. Ain't that a pretty bottle? This is Jiggs brought me that the other day, bless her heart. I'd spied it in the shop and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that, but I was like, I'll leave it. I haven't got the money to get it at the moment. You can't be getting stuff when you've got other things to pay for, and she went and brought it for me because she's such a love. So yeah, I'll probably be reviewing that on my channel at some point soon. But yeah, another beautiful bottle to add to the collection. Looks quite regal, doesn't it? So like I see, this is still burning great. It's still tasting the same, so what I'll probably do is I'm just going to get back in the Cigar Bible, let you know what I got on the final third of it, and any other notes that I wrote down, and then we can call it a day. The video's shorter. You haven't got to sit around forever listening to find out what happens at the end. Not that there's some sort of grand twist or anything, but you know what I'm saying. So yes, the final chapter of this cigar. So yeah, the third I got more pepper. So basically all the flavours we had were the same, but as it got further to the end, they just amped up a little bit, which is quite standard in cigars. You know, they might tend to get a bit more bitter or whatever at the end, but this one, it didn't get bitter. I enjoyed it to the very last puff, but everything that was already in there just sort of stepped up a little bit more. Creamier smoke got a bit creamy in your mouth as well, and the choc malted milkshake, I capital lettered that because obviously the choc malted milkshake got a bit more intensified as well, so which is a good thing. You know, if the cigar's going to get better as you go along to the end, what more can you fucking want? You know, sometimes they can get, like I said, a bit bitter and near the end, and you sort of end up stubbing it out a little bit early, but that might have to do with you're smoking it too quick. You know, if you slow it down a little bit more, that might not happen. But this one did get better and better as it went on. And also I put, again, after the sweetness of a drink, the almond just really popped. It was really almondy, and as a big fan of almond or cherry bakewells or, you know, marzipan, that's in my wheelhouse. I love that sort of flavour, so that just topped it off perfectly. Yeah, great ash, great smoke output, this is doing exactly the same. I mean, you saw that puff of smoke at the end. It was lovely and thick and creamy and delicious, so cannot complain about that one bit. And as a finish, I gave this cigar an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not sure I could ever give anything 10 out of 10. I might have said that before, because you might always find that thing that's a bit better. I think 9 is probably the highest I'd ever go, unless I just smoked something which I just thought, you just can't fuck with this. One thing I hate is when people are talking about stuff. They get on that fucking Britain's Got Talent a lot and they went, oh my God, you just given 110%. Bitch, please. There's no such thing as 110%. You give 100% or less. That is how it is. So 100%, you gave 100%. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, 110. This above and beyond shit just does my fucking head in. Just leave it at that, all right? 100% is the best. 10 out of 10 is the best. But that ain't gonna happen. I can't ever see me doing that, because there's always gonna be something that's just tops it. So 9 would be as hard as I go. So to be fair, for me to give this an 8.5 is saying a lot. It's saying that this is a decent cigar, which personally I enjoyed a lot. No issues, good structure, burnt well, lovely ash, smoke output amazing, and the flavours just got better as it went along. And this is so far doing exactly what it did last time. You know, it is a lovely cigar. Labels peeled off perfectly, didn't ruin the cigar at all. They've been stuck on perfectly. Obviously you had the foot one to start with, you have to take that off once the cigar's not lit. Come off no problem at all, wasn't overly sticky, wasn't attached to the cigar at all. And I even took this one off a little bit earlier than I should have done last time. This one I left till quite late, but because this one's quite big and it dips down the front, I took off a bit earlier. Absolutely no problem at all. It's been stuck well. It's not a budget stick by any means. You do pay a bit of money for it, so I'm happy that it was good for what I paid for it. So I can't complain at all. So all in all, the Plasencia Alma Fuerte is a decent, delicious cigar, in a good shape, packed well, tastes amazing, good draw. I literally can't go wrong. And to add it to that, the Balvenie Caribbean Cask, or Caribbean Cask, however you want to put it. Perfect combination. Perfect combination. But like I said, works well with a cold coffee as well. Bit of sugar in it, nice and sweet. Sweet for my sweets, sugar for my honey, whatever the fuck that song used to be. Perfecto, I believe. Talking honey, actually. Except for this. Honey, apple, apricots, very heavy on the rum. No burn. You know, if it was maybe a little bit higher in proof, there might be a little bit more flavours in that you can get out of it. But as it stands, it's got plenty of flavours in it already, to be fair. You know, it's been aged for 14 years. It's definitely picked up off the barrels. Getting that woodness note, but which obviously you'd assume would be more like an oaky wood, but to me it has got a bit more of a sandally, seedly wood kind of note to it, and has worked a treat. As you can see, I'm just coming down to the second third really, and I've already pile drive that drink down me already. So yeah, I think I'll leave that there. I can't see this changing much to afterwards. Like I said, I've already smoked it, which makes it easier for me. And I hope you've enjoyed the ride. We see new merch, light it up, little cigar there for the eye. I've also got a Pour It Up t-shirt as well, which I've replaced the U in up with a whiskey glass. Glencairn obviously, so people know it's whiskey glass. It's got a Jiggs cigars and it's got the Jiggs Lounge Cigars and Drinks logo on the back as well. I pretty much ditched everything that was on my Teesprings and just started from scratch. I've done these two first, and in another month or so I'll probably get some Jiggs Reviews t-shirts on those stuff, just to add a few more bits on there. Thank you very much for watching, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to my other channel if you just want to watch some whiskey reviews or man grooming reviews, whatever I've got going on there. And don't forget to comment if there's anything you want to say or want me to do, or you've tried these things and you want to tell me how you got on with it and so on and so forth, then please do so. I'd love to hear from you. So that just leaves me to say, light it up, pour it up, and thanks for coming to chill in Jiggs Lounge. I will see you guys on the next one. Right, let's go outside and smoke the rest of this then.